Broadcasting more than 2,000 games live and archived in 15 sports in over 10 counties in western Pennsylvania, as well as being the exclusive home for all the WPIAL playoffs and championships for nearly 2 decades. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
Welcome to coverage of WPIAL basketball 2017-2018 here on the Triblive High School Sports Network. High school basketball at tribhssn.triblive.com is sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by AstroTurf, by Carlow University, proud sponsor of the 2018 WPIAL Girls Basketball Playoffs, and by Trib Total Media.
Well, very pleasant good evening. We welcome you to Fox Chapel High School for continuing coverage of the 2017-18 WPIAL boys basketball season right here on the new Triblive High School Sports Network. This evening from the Fox's Den, it is a Class 6A Section 3 showdown between the top team, the Penn Hills Indians, 7-0 on the year, 2-0 in section play, and the homestanding Fox Chapel Foxes, 1-1 in section play. 4-1 are the Foxes coming off their first defeat of the year, a 75-60 loss to Woodland Hills. Penn Hills coming off another win, 7 straight, 54-40 over Alderdice. Along with Bob Orkwis, I'm Josh Rowntree here at Fox Chapel. Bob, you look at these two teams a year ago, they finished both 12-2 in the section, both with 19 wins at the end of the day. Two very good basketball teams a year ago. Fox Chapel off to a good start, 4-1. They just lost their first game, as we mentioned. But Penn Hills, they are red hot right now as they come into this big game here tonight.
No question about it. Throw into the fact, during the 7-game winning streak, they put up 100 against their rival Plum. This will be the 4th game of their 8th. This will be their 8th game overall. That Dan DeRose, their third-year head coach, will be back. He was suspended for the first 4 games of the year because of an outburst in their loss in the playoffs last year against North Hills at Plum High School. Marvin Wright coached the Indians for the first 4 games, but they've been getting it done. They lost some talent. A couple of their leading scorers graduated, Shavar Williamson and Sharon Chafino. But Davon Stevens has lit it up. The 6'5 senior has done a great job for Penn Hills, averaging 17.1 points a game. He was joined by senior Cam Wiley, averages 16.3 points a game for Penn Hills. On the other side, Fox Chapel, 4-1. Their only loss of the year came in section against Woodland Hills, a team that you look at it record-wise would be surprised, but if you're paying attention, you shouldn't be surprised that Woodland Hills is 5-0 and out to that great start. Yeah. But for Fox Chapel, one of the stories we talked about in the opening game tonight, which was the girls' match between these two schools, injuries and illness. A player not in the lineup, Ryan Kerr, injured his ankle against Gateway. He will not play. And then Ben Kelly, who is the second leading scorer and the top 3-point shooter for Fox Chapel. He averages 15 a game, Josh. He is sick. He will not play tonight for Fox Chapel.
So some injury concerns certainly out there, and that makes this game all the more intriguing without question. Penn Hills wins over Lincoln Park. Hickory, that was up in the Midland tournament at Lincoln Park. They beat Propel, Andrew Street, Burrell, Plum, Norwin, and then the win over Alderdice. Fox Chapel beating Amani Christian. Gateway, that was a big win for them. They beat North Hills, Hempfield before that loss to Woodland Hills. And they are led by Zach Skrinjar. He is their 9th-year head coach, 113-74, 5 playoff appearances in those 9 years. And Bobby, these two they're no strangers to one another, even going back from previous to the reclassification and the making of the 6A of the 6 classification system. They were frequently in each other's sections year after year, so they know each other quite a bit Fox Chapel and Penn Hills split last year. Penn Hills won the 2 before that. Then it was a long winning streak for Fox Chapel. They dominated Penn Hills for really the last 5-6 years. They've really kind of dominated them. And so we will see how this rivalry then turns this year as well. Last year, Penn Hills won 62-59. That was back on January 3rd. They played again. Fox Chapel winning the rematch 65-57 as we take a look at tonight's starters.
For Penn Hills, under head coach Dan DeRose, they will start Devon Stevens. Devon Stevens, the 6'5 senior guard forward, averaging 17.1 points a game. Corey Fulton, the true point guard, returned after being injured last year, 6-foot senior. Cam Wiley, 6'2 senior guard, averaging 16.3 a game for the Indians. Keyshawn Adams, 6'6 senior forward, and joining them in the starting lineup, another senior, Miles Yarbo. Yarbo is a guard at 6 foot. They have 6 seniors on their roster, all 5 of them in the starting lineup for Penn Hills. Stevens, Fulton, Wiley, Adams, and Yarbo start for Penn Hills. For Fox Chapel and Zach Scringer, they will start Carson Cohen, 6'2 senior guard, the D1 or the college commit for Cohen, who is headed to Tufts University in Massachusetts, averages 22.2 points a game. Starting in place of Ben Kelly will be Justin Sapsora. He's a 6-foot senior guard. Carson Cohen is a 6'2 senior guard. Arnold Vento, 6'2 sophomore guard. Dom McGriff, averaging 13.8 points a game, 6'3 senior guard, his first year in the varsity. And Micah Morris, a name familiar to Fox Chapel football fans, 6'2 senior. He starts at forward. Sapsora, Cohen, Vento, McGriff, Morris start for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, Morris, as you mentioned, a talented running back being recruited by a number of schools. Brown high on that list.
Has an offer from Seton Hill.
Right, so he will most likely play football at the next level, but a very good basketball player as well. The Indians, led by Dan DeRose, as Bobby mentioned, 45-11 now in his 3rd year, a pair of playoff appearances in his first 2 years, a pair of 19-win seasons. Came in, immediately turned things around. Spent a year at South Park. He turned around the Eagles in just 1 season. He also has coached in college as well, Chowan College. He coached 6 years at CCBC as well. He replaced Jim Rocco, who left for Penn Trafford after 19 years. And as Bobby mentioned, was suspended the first 4 games of the year. But really, they did okay without their head coach. They were able to survive that, and now here they are, a chance at 8-0 tonight with a win. But, you know, this is going to be a tough test against a team that they split a section title with a year ago.
Dan DeRose is a fiery guy, too. And a good guy, not just saying that because he was suspended for 4 games, but he brings that kind of motivation. Also as an assistant coach at Seton Hill, so he brings a good pedigree. Zach Scringer, a Pittsburgh Central Catholic graduate. Talk about the Chuck Crummey coaching tree. We look at his bench. Sean Deviney is a PCC grad, as is Joe Farrell. So 3 Central Catholic graduates on the bench for Fox Chapel.
Well, as you watch this video stream, Penn Hills in the all-gold uniforms, the red numbers. And for Fox Chapel, the home whites with the red numbers. Fox is written out across the chest of the jerseys, as it'll be Dominic McGriff to jump center against Davon Stevens. And just about set. Mark Schmidt will put the ball in the air, and here we go from Fox Chapel. Tip one back, and Micah Morris will control it. We're off and running. With the basketball is Sapsura. They work it into the corner, trying to drive baseline. Losing his footing was Cohen. Cohen got smothered by gold jerseys. Kicked it right side to Sapsura. 6-foot senior, then resets back up top to McGriff. And he'll hand it off to Cohen. Penn Hills coming out man defense. Cohen will dish it off to McGriff. McGriff, spin move in the lane, pump fake, kicks it out to Morris. Morris will get it right back. Good defense here. Slow offensive set by Fox Chapel. They finally get it open to Cohen for 3. Front of the rim, no good. Morris with the rebound. Then he got stripped from behind, but is able to get it back. Excuse me, that's McGriff. McGriff now going baseline. Little pump fake move a couple of times. 3 gold jerseys around him. And finally, he is fouled on the 3rd pump fake attempt, and he'll go to the line.
Really good ball movement, 52-second possession. You mentioned it's slow. I think they would prefer to call it patient. And it works out with the offensive rebound. Don McGriff, who didn't play, tried out for the team as a sophomore, didn't play. McGriff comes in off a career-high 24 points the other night in the loss against Woodland Hills.
That foul on Davon Stevens, his first, team first. And the first free throw is up and good for McGriff. Bobby mentioned playing without a couple of notables is Fox Chapel. Second one, nothing but net. We saw that in the last game that we had tonight, but on the Penn Hill side, the girls team losing a couple of players, but they were able to come away with a victory anyway. Inside with the basketball is Adams, goes up, cannot hit the layup. Put back attempt by Stevens, no good. Now a fight for it, and ripping the ball away is Micah Morris.
That's what he'll bring. The big body underneath Morris at 6'2". He's a fullback and linebacker. Bigger as a fullback. I think his next level at football would be at the linebacker spot.
Here is Morris with it. Yeah, he has a big frame for sure. Now putting the ball on the deck is Cohen. He gets bumped on the far sideline. So Carson Cohen, again, a recruit of Tufts, scoring 22 a game, all section a year ago. That'll be the foul on Miles Yarbo.
You know, it's snowy in Massachusetts. Does that outweigh the fact that Tufts is a great university? It's also Patriot country.
It is.
I might add.
Yeah. Those aren't kind words around these parts.
Especially after last week.
Here is Cohen with the basketball, slowly dribbles out near the timeline. No real urgency in the offense. I don't think Fox Chapel wants to get into an up and down kind of game. Here's Cohen, though, from the corner. Cannot hit it. Rebound inside by McGriff. He's been on the boards pretty well. They kick it back out to Subsura, who's going to put up a quick three. That's no good. Ball went up and hit the shot clock, and a bit of a delay there, but they will call. The officials tonight, Mark Schmidt, Paul Hensler, and Josh Santic, the three-man crew working tonight's ball game. Christmas theme as well tonight here at Fox Chapel. Big student section off to our right. You'll probably catch a glimpse of them when the ball works to the right side of the court. They are all decked out.
I spied a couple of Buddy the Elves in that section.
Just 3 days before the Christmas holiday. With the basketball up top is Yarbo. Swings it left side. And on the catch is Fulton. Tried to work the ball into Fulton. Fulton lost control of it, scramble for it. And coming away with it is Fox Chapel. First turnover on Penn Hills in this game.
2 possessions they've got it inside, Fulton and Adams just couldn't really come up with clean possession, the 6'6 senior. That creates the turnover.
Cohen on the drive, lost control of it, then turned it over. Threw it right to a gold jersey as he lost control out of bounds with it.
Right to Yarbo.
That was Yarbo, yeah. Now Fulton with it.
He was almost doomed from the outset on that drive from the right wing.
Well, we've played 2 minutes and 40 seconds. We have seen the ball go in the basket once. Inside, it's Stevens with it. Stevens backs a man down, puts up a little right-handed floater. That's off the front of the tin, no good. And coming away with it is Fox Chapel.
Twice with 2 free throws.
True.
Right?
Okay, good. Yes,
I'm just being literal.
Yes.
No field goals.
No field goals yet. Correct. Up top with the ball is Vento. Arnold Vento swings it left side. Now it's worked back over to Subsura, and he'll get it off to Morris. Morris trying to use that frame to back his man down, picked up the dribble, and got it off to Cohen. Cohen, that lefty dribble goes through the legs, and they'll reset the offense. Morris back to Cohen. Cohen looking to initiate, drives left hand, draws a defender, but backs it back out. Kicks it to Subsura, again Cohen. Slowly developing offensive set again for Fox Chapel. Cohen dishes baseline, Subsura. Oh boy, he gets hammered and goes to the deck hard. Shot's no good, but Subsura's going to shoot a pair. And good to see him hop back up on an awkward spill.
That's 2 on Davon Stevens.
That is big. So Davon Stevens will have to leave this game early with his second foul. Only 4:14 left in the first quarter. We're not even halfway done with the opening frame, and Stevens is going to have to sit. And Subsura knocks down the front end.
That's his 17.1 points per game average headed to the bench, and he's been one of the focal points along with the returning Fulton and Wiley for the Indians and Dan DeRose.
Second free throw for Subsura is true. Quickly, though, the ball moved down court to Wiley, who puts up an air ball 3, and Subsura has the long rebound.
Got to get a better shot. You had a good look. And that's a really quick ball movement, and for the open three, just missed everything.
If you're talking time of possession right now, probably 40 seconds of possession for Fox Chapel, maybe 4 seconds.
Fox Chapel's dominating that.
McGriff got it blocked inside, goes back from that left block, cannot hit, and the rebound snatched out of there by Adams, and then a foul is going to be called here on Subsura.
We don't measure time of possession as much in this sport.
Yeah.
It could lead into a factor, but it's not like soccer or football specifically.
Right. Though
Fox Chapel's been
sure
patient.
Someone analytically is doing that somewhere by now.
No, I love the stats. Jen O'Shea, the girls head coach at Fox Chapel, sent us her stats earlier in the week, and I love that. And all coaches track this, but deflections, and that's a hustle stat.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that is tracked in this day and age of what's the word I'm looking for? I'll think about it as Penn Hills turns it over.
Sabermetrics of basketball.
Sabermetrics of analytics.
There it is. Ball thrown away by Penn Hills, their second turnover. Fox Chapel has one. By the way, Tyree Spencer was the player who stepped in for Davon Stevens. As he's on the bench, has not scored.
You might need to weather that storm if you're Penn Hills. Without Stevens, it's only a 4-0 lead for the Foxes.
Vento jump stop into the lane, then kicks it out to McGriff. McGriff slowly backing down Wiley, goes up, left hand, no good. Fight for it. Morris comes down with it. The offensive board for Micah Morris, but then he throws it away. Look out, Spencer ahead all alone, and he will finger roll it into the hoop nicely.
The steal and the deuce for the first points for Tyree Spencer, the 6'1 junior guard at the other end.
On the ball, out of bounds, Michael Morris.
Yep. So a good turn for Penn Hills, a chance to tie or take the lead with 2:52 left in the first.
That basket by Spencer coming with about 3.5 minutes left maybe. It was the first field goal of this basketball game.
Closer to 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Yeah.
5 minutes without a field goal for both teams.
Hard to believe with these two offenses. Penn Hill scoring 69.4 a game. Fox Chapel 65.6 per.
One by design, which is Fox Chapel's patient look. Penn Hills, I'm sure they'd like to have 10, 12, 14, 16.
Not making shots. Here's Wiley, and he'll get it to fall. Three-pointer for Cam Wiley.
Quick 5-0 run for the Indians to take the lead.
Cohen will run the point. Bit of a delay getting it over. Then he left hand shoves it up ahead. With the catch is Marks. Noah Marks just into the game. The shot missed inside, and here comes Penn Hills.
Good pass, not the good result.
On the dribble.
Vento.
Here is Corey Fulton, the 6-foot senior guard. He'll back it out near the timeline. All 5 starters for Penn Hills are seniors. They have some top-heavy senior lineup here.
Mentioned Fulton's return, Josh. He missed last year with an ACL.
Fulton on the drive, little off-balance shot. It's going to be on the floor, though, the foul on Fox Chapel.
It's kind of a true point guard, which Penn Hills needed. We're losing Williamston and Shafino. And on cue, he makes a nice move to the elbow and draws the foul.
On foul drawn on Micah Morris. Subsura comes back in as Vento will step out. Shane Susnack on the floor for the Foxes. Inbound feed, then kicked right side to Wiley. Another three-pointer up. That's no good, but the rebound comes right down to Keyshawn Adams. Right-handed dribble drive by Tyree Spencer. Nearly threw it away. Now the ball into the backcourt. And can they save it? They will. Finally comes free to Fulton. Fulton from the right elbow. Air ball. And grabbing the rebound and getting it inside to Wiley for the deuce. What a play by Spencer.
Really nicely done by Spencer. You mentioned it. Good job to get his feet set and then jump up, and a better job to find a wide open Wiley for the deuce.
Cohen, a tough take down the lane. He's fouled on the floor. 7-4 is the score. 1:17 left in the first quarter.
7-0 run for the Indians. That foul was charged against Adams. Vento will come back in for Fox Chapel.
4th foul on the Indians. Here is Carson Cohen to trigger the inbound. Lobs one out near the top of the key, then gets it right back from Subsura. Now left side, McGriff open for 3, and he knocks it down.
Again, the good story not coming out for the team last year came out as a sophomore, did not play. And Coach Zach Scringer said he can score in most ways. He can rebound. We're just working on his defensive game.
Fulton, a long three off the mark. McGriff the rebound, and up ahead here comes Cohen. Cohen, little stutter step move, but they say he traveled along the way.
A little too great, huh?
Maybe.
Turnover. 5 and 5, by the way, in this first quarter for McGriff. 5 points, 5 rebounds.
Wow. He's certainly a presence down low. He's listed at 6'3", but plays bigger than that. Maybe it's the hair that makes him look bigger than 6'3". He's got the high hairdo.
Sai Yarlagata checks in late for the Foxes.
Cross-court pass over to Marshall MacArthur, who's just checked in as well, and he misses a three. So MacArthur off the mark, but another offensive rebound for Penn Hills. Tied at 7, 30 seconds to play here in quarter number 1.
But Stevens went out. Spencer came in. He has 2 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, and an assist.
Not bad.
That's good production for Spencer, the junior.
Looks like Penn Hills content to let the clock run all the way down. 14 seconds left. They kick it over to Adams. Adams looking to get the offense moving. 10 seconds. Now it's back up top to Spencer. Right side, Wiley. Wiley on the deck, floater in the lane, off the window, no good. 2 seconds to go. And from half court, off the window for Arnold Vento. And that'll take us to the end of quarter number 1. A low-scoring opening 8 minutes, each team with 7 points. As we have played a quarter here at Fox Chapel, you're watching WPIAL Basketball 2017 here on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDrivesYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Triblive High School Sports Network.
Back here at Fox Chapel with Bob Orkwis, I'm Josh Rowntree. Fresh 8 minutes on the clock. We're tied at 7 after 1 quarter of play between Fox Chapel and Penn Hills. 6A Section 3 matchup. Penn Hills off to a 2-0 start in the section, and right off the bat, a whistle and a foul away from the basketball. That will be on Sai Yarlagata. Yarlagata, his first personal, Fox Chapel's third. Stevens back into the game here. He does a little give and go, gets it with a right-hand finger roll, cannot hit. That's the third missed layup by Stevens to this point. Now, ball nearly thrown away. Left side, McGriff for 3. That's no good. Battling for it is Yarlagata, comes away with it, but then it's poked away by McGriff. Back with it is Fulton. Got the steal, little pump fake move, and he scores.
Was that a beautiful pump fake or what? Woo. Stops on a dime. 2 defenders right by him for the layup.
Penn Hills takes the lead, 9-7. 50 seconds into quarter 2. Good press break, nearly a travel by Subsura. And a kick to Vento. Vento curling in, right side. Subsura open for 3, and he knocks it down.
Good ball movement. Inside, outside, the dribble drive, the penetration by Vento, and the dish.
And right back the other way. Spencer with the 3. That's no good. Yarlagata with the rebound. Cohen taking his time as he backs off the double team. Headsy play there by Carson Cohen. McGriff had Yarlagata fall down in front of him. Now McGriff looking to drive. Jump stop to the left block, goes up through traffic, no good. And Davon Stevens with the rebound. He looks to run. Left side to Fulton. Fulton driving, looked to go back to Stevens, but was off the mark. Stevens able to collect anyways. Boy, Stevens listed at 6'5", just looks bigger than that. He has a pretty good frame on him for a 6'5" player. Pulls up for an 18-footer, and he knocks it down smooth from Davon Stevens.
Well, he's listed as a swing man, too, at 6'5", but I want to put our attention to the game he had earlier in the season in the 7-game winning streak against Norwin. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists for a 6'5" player.
Another steal by Fulton. He brings it in, has it stripped as he goes up for the layup.
Yeah, good defense in the back end by Cohen.
Now some subs coming back in. Susnick on the court. Noah Marks in, and also stepping back in is Micah Morris for Fox Chapel. Lob pass on the inbound, poked out of there by Morris. Cohen trying to get two, and he's able to save it. Not over and back. Now Cohen brings it in, and an offensive foul called on Cohen. Maybe should have just shot that basketball, but decided to dish it off at the last moment. Picks up the offensive foul.
You know, you could have just let it run out of bounds on the near sideline. Would have saved all the effort, right?
Yeah,
you would have saved the energy. You would have saved the personal foul. No, you like that hustle play on the near side. And Cohen, yeah, probably should have just continued up from the left baseline drive and went in for the layup.
5:46 to go. 11-9 is the score. We're here in the second quarter. Low scoring. Now a bit of a delay here. We're checking with something on the scorer's table.
Oh, they changed.
There's no way that's a foul on Marks.
I thought the whistle went before.
There's no
the
way
ball
it was
got
on
the Marks, because Marks drew some contact too. I thought it was before on the pass, though. I agree.
There's a good play inside. A couple of attempts there by Darrell Mason. A couple of looks. Mason, the 6'3" senior. And he'll go to the line.
Yeah, Mason will be a football player at the next level. A successful football year for Penn Hills and their first-year head coach, John Ladon. That foul, by the way, number 2 against Morris.
Up and no good on the first. I think Penn Hills football, Bobby, is going to be really good next year. They have a lot of young talent on that team that's only going to get better with another year.
Coach Ladon, too, a good coach.
Yes.
No success at Shaler, but that's no surprise, as their numbers and their program is down. He moves over to Penn Hills and took that program into the playoffs, and I agree with that.
Second one for Mason.
Whoop.
Oh, well short.
He was a football player shooting free throws there, was he not?
Yes, he was. 5:32 on the clock. Vento inbounding to Cohen. Full court press quickly up ahead, though, to Subsura. Maybe a 2-on-1. Subsura travels. Yeah.
Definitely a 2-on-1 if Subsura saw McGriff leaking ahead on the near side, but when he did, it was too late, and then he tried to drive from the right wing, and that foot slid. Traveling the call, Keyshawn Adams re-entering for Penn Hills.
Penn Hills 7-0 on the year with a 2-point lead. 11-9 here in the second quarter. Lob pass inside to Adams. Adams threw a double team up off the window. Tough.
That's what a 6'6" player does, right?
Yes.
In the post, you take the double team, you split the double team, you use your strength and your size, you put it off the window for your first 2.
Cohen takes the pass over the midcourt line and then nearly has it pickpocketed as after him was Spencer. Really, Fox Chapel struggling with the length of Penn Hills to this point. Penn Hills been great on defense these last couple of games. 72 points allowed their last 2 games as Cohen down the lane. Bit delayed there, was able to get a shot up. Then on the putback attempt, Marks no good. Long run out up ahead to Fulton in transition off the side of the rim, no good. And McGriff comes down with it. Cohen, little bounce pass over to McGriff, open for 3, in and out, no good. And Davon Stevens the rebound. Little stutter step move by Stevens. Now he drives baseline, floats one over to Adams, who goes up and gets it to go. All of a sudden, 4 points for Keyshawn Adams, and it's a 6-point lead for Penn Hills.
Stevens has just 2 points, but picks up his first assist. He also has 3 rebounds. Keep in mind, he missed some time in the first quarter with 2 personal fouls.
Zach Scringer takes a timeout. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. 15-9 is the score as Penn Hills leads Fox Chapel. You're watching WPIAL Basketball 2017 here on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Recordtan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
Kind of an ugly first 12 minutes here at Fox Chapel. 15-9 is the score, as Penn Hills on the road with the lead.
You know, there are times, and Josh, more times than once, where you need to win ugly, right?
Yeah, no question.
It happens. I agree with your description. It has been. Considering, we're a quarter and a half through, and the Foxers are still in single digits.
Ball work to Vento into a double team. He goes. Defense really, really good for Penn Hills.
You mentioned they're long, and they're athletic and quick, too.
Yeah, they are. They let up 32 against Norwin 2 games ago, then 40 against Alderdice. It's been the defense really that's carried them these last couple of games. Ball right side. Vento gets open for 3. That's off the back of the iron. No good. And up ahead to Wiley. Wiley going to dish it off to Fulton down the lane. Little left-hand scoop layup. No good. Long rebound comes out to Adams. Left side pull-up jumper well short. Now here comes Fox Chapel. Back the other way. Cohen wants to pull up for 3. No, off the mark. Vento with the basketball baseline. Trying to get it out. He finally finds Susnick for 3. That's no good.
Wide open.
Boy, not even close.
Great find by Vento.
Now back MacArthur gets it left side. That shot cannot connect from Cam Wiley. The shooting percentages are not looking good right now.
We got to get down there at halftime to see if there's a lid on both rims.
Peel that sucker off. 2.5 minutes to play. 15-9 here in the first half. Now a little bit of this is from Fox Chapel using long possessions and burning the clock a little bit, but it's mainly just poor shooting and good defense too. I think credit
some pretty good looks. Yeah, the defense does factor in.
Oh,
good
what
find,
a block.
better block.
Michael Morris had it blocked inside.
That was Adams.
By Keyshawn Adams.
That was a good find, high-low game from McGriff to Morris, but better defensive play by Keyshawn Adams. Well, good to be 6-6 in this game, is it not?
Absolutely. Floating pass inbounded to Vento. Now back up to McGriff. They'll go right side looking for Cohen. Cohen without a point so far. Foul called on Tyree Spencer, his first. Team's 5th, each team with 5 fouls. 2:04 left when the ball's inbounded here. Right side, Cohen off the inbound. Back of the iron, no good. Tyree Spencer with the rebound. He'll bring it ahead. Gets it off to MacArthur down the right side of the lane. Lost control of it. Out of bounds. Oh, Fox Chapel thinks it's off the knee, but officials say otherwise.
My call does not matter, so I was calling the right thigh of MacArthur.
I'm with you.
Well, you know Cohen wanted that 3 on that inbounds play. You mentioned it. 0 points. Shooters like hitters. Gripping the bat tighter. They'll grip the ball tighter until those first points of the game come.
Davon Stevens inside working on the left block, and he has 4 points. 17-9, Penn Hills in the lead. $1:40 left in the half.
A 17-5 run currently for Penn Hills. They were down 4-0.
Cross-court pass, look out, intercepted. Then a dish and a finish by Stevens, set up from Fulton.
First of all, good job by Fulton to see Stevens. Better job by Stevens to not try to go for the dunk with a man back there on that 2-on-1 and to just take the easy layup on the right side.
And a 10-second violation on Fox Chapel.
There's that length at the top of the defense.
6 turnovers for the Foxes to this point. It is a 10-point lead for Penn Hills, who are thriving right now on defense. Ball inbounded to Yarbo. Fulton inside, Adams right block, good dish off to Adams, and he cannot make the finger roll layup. Michael Morris with the basketball.
There's good passing and good looks again. They continue. Great catch by McGriff.
Absolutely. McGriff skying for that one and gets it off to Vento for three.
Vento should thank McGriff. That was inches away from being turnover. Instead, it turns into a three, and then Dan DeRose takes a timeout with under a minute to go in the second quarter.
49 seconds left in the first half. We'll step aside as well. 19-12 is the score as Penn Hills leads Fox Chapel here on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
Triblive has a little something for everyone. Sports from high school to the pros. News from across the street and around the world. Arts and entertainment. Lifestyles. Opinion. Weather. Photo galleries. Video. You can even find your next job, house, and car. So look alive, Pittsburgh, and get the news you want and information you need all in one place. Triblive.com. Triblive.com. News and more 24/7.
(19-12), 49.6 left on this first half clock. Penn Hills with the lead and the basketball. Their defense has been smothering. 3 3-pointers, really helping Fox Chapel to this point. Here's Davon Stevens with the ball up top. They might hold for the last shot. Stevens, 30 left, gets it off to Wiley. Stevens' little stutter step move, then dishes back over to Wiley again. Wiley on the delay will kick it back up top to Adams. Stevens, 7 seconds left. McGriff on him. Stevens looking to drive, jump stop move, had it blocked. Great job getting the hand up by McGriff to knock it out of bounds with 2.1 left.
Are you sure this kid didn't play hoops last year?
Man.
It's been impressive.
How good would they have been with him?
I say good decision, Dom. Dominic McGriff coming back to play.
Ball inbounded to Adams, and he gets it to go with no time left on the clock. Adams on the inbound now has 6 points, and that is how the first half ends.
And Davon Stevens running past the bench. Well, I'm going to say a little high five, a big high five when you're 6'5". We're head coach Dan DeRose on the inbounds play.
Penn Hills outscores Fox Chapel 14-5 in the quarter, and we will head to the half with Penn Hills leading Fox Chapel 21-12 here on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
For a weekly in-depth look at boys and girls high school basketball in the district, log on to the WPIAL Round Ball Report every Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Triblive High School Sports Network. Join experts Chris Harlan, Sean Myers, and James Dotson for coaches' interviews and the latest hoops news around the WPIAL. Oh, and Don Rebel is back on the show as well. That's the WPIAL Roundball Report, Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Triblive High School Sports Network. While the weather outside may be frightful, the winter high school sports is delightful. That's here on the Triblive High School Sports Network. Log on to the Trib, hssn.triblive.com for weekly audio and video coverage of boys and girls high school basketball, WPIAL wrestling, and PIHL high school hockey. The warmth and the glow of the winter sports season may be heard daily on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
We've played 2 quarters here at Fox Chapel, and it's a 9-point lead for Penn Hills as they lead the Foxes 21-12 here at the break. Along with Bob Orkwis, I'm Josh Rowntree. Chelsea Rowntree working the camera tonight for the Triblive High School Sports Network. So glad you could join us here for It's been an interesting first half, I would say, of basketball. Slow and steady, I guess.
It's been an offensively limited night through a game and a half for us.
That's maybe the best possible descriptive that I've ever heard. Offensively limited. 21 points for the Indians, only 12 points for Fox Chapel. 5 there in the quarter. And, really, this Penn Hills defense, Bobby, they're legit. I mean, boy, they're so long and they're quick. There's just nowhere to shoot the basketball right now. And you couple that with Fox Chapel running long possessions, too, and they're left with 12 points. I know you don't want to get into an up-and-down kind of foot race with a team like Penn Hills, but at the same time, this isn't working either.
It's one thing if you're taking your patient possessions and you're making your shots, then you can continue to do that.
Right.
It's another thing if you're being patient and the defense is then giving you troubles and you're missing, which has been the recipe for Fox Chapel. That's a reason that they're down by 9 points here at the half. They didn't get that many field goals. Sapsora had one, and then a couple threes by Vento and McGriff. That's it. 3 field goals in 16 minutes is not getting the job done. And, of course, as we've been talking about, there are more factors in that recipe than just bad shooting.
Yeah, no question. It's I think mostly been this great Penn Hills defense that we've seen as we look now at the scoring recap brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine.
The Penn Hills Indians were led in the first half in scoring by a pair of players. Keyshawn Adams, the 6'6 senior, with 6 points, 2 rebounds, and a block. Davon Stevens, who missed time in the first quarter with 2 quick personal fouls, also with 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. 5 points for Cam Wiley, including a 3-pointer. Wiley also has a rebound for the Indians. 2 points, 4 rebounds, and assist and a steal off the bench for Tyree Spencer. He came in replace of Stevens and did very, very well. Corey Fulton has 2 points, a steal, and an assist as well for the Indians. Also in the scoring column, or in the scorebook, is Darrell Mason with a rebound for Penn Hills for their total of 21 by quarter, 7 and 14. For Fox Chapel, not much to write home about. 5 for Dominic McGriff. He has 7 rebounds and a block. 4 for Justin Sapsora on a 2-pointer and a pair of free throws. 3 for Arnold Vento on a 3-pointer. He has 2 rebounds. 2 rebounds as well for Yarla Gata off the bench. Micah Morris, 4 rebounds and a steal for Fox Chapel as well. For their total of 12 points at the half by quarters for Fox Chapel. 7 and 5. We were tied at 7 apiece after the first quarter of play. That was your scoring recap, sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, powering the Stay Strong and Play On program with the Triblive High School Sports Network.
All right. At the break, 21-12 is the score. Bobby's getting into the music here.
Fireball.
Well, yeah, a little fireball. We're having a great time.
I had to recover because I like the fact that the Fox Chapel cheerleaders who entertained us at the half had the Christmas socks, but it reminded me I have to finish wrapping presents.
Well, you have a busy couple of days then.
Have you seen me wrap presents?
I've seen myself wrap presents. I'm imagining you're probably in the same ballpark than
I'm going to tell Chelsea can verify this. It was a guy who invented the gift bag. I'm pretty sure of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's no doubt.
It was a guy. If I couldn't make it through life without gift bags and duct tape. Enough about me.
Gift bags are key this time of year. We are at the half. Penn Hills with the lead, 21-12 over Fox Chapel. We'll be back in a bit right here on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
Check out the new Triblive High School Sports Network on social media this season. For breaking news, scores, pictures, videos, links to our articles, and more, follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Triblive HSSN. Get in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/Triblive HSSN. And on our YouTube channel, you can find thousands of interviews with local student athletes and coaches, plus highlights and full games. The spot for Western Pennsylvania high school sports on social media this season is the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Triblive High School Sports Network.
Hi, this is Josh Rowntree with the new Triblive High School Sports Network's PIHL Power Play show. This winter, myself and the coach, Kevin Zlomansky, will bring you the most comprehensive coverage of high school hockey in Western PA. Hey, Kevin, any suggestions on how we can pull it off?
We're not goons. We're not bullies. No matter what people say or do, we have to be ourselves.
Okay. Well, word is that you've been letting success go to your head a bit.
Hey, what I do is none of your business. Is that clear?
This should be a fun season. It's the PIHL Power Play show every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
21-12 is the score as we head towards half number 2. Both teams back out on the court. Going through the halftime warm-ups here. Bobby, what are some keys for both sides here in the second half?
Key number 1 for Fox Chapel is number 10. And that's Carson Cohen. No points at all in the first half, just 1 rebound. And this is a kid who's going to Tufts University who averages 22.2 points a game. So I think you got to get him on track. Maybe those empty possessions weren't as empty if Cohen was hitting a few shots there in the first half. For Penn Hills, I think you need to maybe establish Devon Stevens in at 6, but I think you need to keep up that defensive intensity. It's been obvious that has given Fox Chapel problems. It's hard sometimes to bring 32 minutes of that type of intensity, but I think Penn Hills can do it. And judging, as you mentioned, by their last 2 games, allowing just 32 against Norwin and 40 against Alderdice, I think that's been part of their MO as far as this early season has gone for the 7-0 Indians.
So Penn Hills with the 21-12 halftime lead. Penn Hills will turn around and play tomorrow, by the way, tomorrow night against McKeesport at Jam Fest. I actually saw McKeesport play on Tuesday down at Trinity. Pretty good team. They lost to Trinity, but Trinity I think is going to have a really good team this year. And they're a pretty solid squad with Leighton Jordan and company leading that McKeesport team. For Fox Chapel.
Yeah, that Caroli kid for the Hillers is a pretty good athlete, I think, huh?
Whew, man. That kid can absolutely ball. He really can play.
And he's going to probably play football at the next level.
Yeah, he has a couple of offers to play football. On the other side, Fox Chapel, well, what do you know? They're playing McKeesport up next as well. It won't be tomorrow. It'll be on January 3rd, so a bit of an extended break here for this Fox Chapel team heading into the Christmas holiday. They'll get some time off. Sure, they'll be in the gym, but they'll not be playing, at least not according to this schedule. They'll have some time off here before we hit the new year. All right, so Penn Hills by 9 as they will have the lead to begin the second half and play defense first. Fox Chapel starting with the ball. Penn Hills 2-0 in the section. Woodland Hills 2-0 in the section. Had a chance to see Woodland Hills play. As Monte Britt for them. Another, talk about good point guards.
Yeah, 1,000 points plus now for his career.
And he is terrific.
He's led a nice turnaround in that program.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were a lot of lean years for the Wolverines.
Yeah, they are
basketball-wise.
Early on, a 3 from the left side for Subsura. That's no good. Yarbo, the rebound. Yarbo out there with the rest of the starting 5. Stevens, Fulton, Wiley, and Adams. And starting 5 the other way for Fox Chapel. Subsura, Cohen, Vento, McGriff, and Morris. Ball worked inside to Adams. Gets the foul and the bucket.
Good catch by Stevens. Great find by Stevens. Better finish for Keyshawn Adams.
Morris going to pick up the foul. That is going to be his third.
You can't. Well, you have Morris at 6'2". You got McGriff at 6'3". Those are the tallest players. Cohen and Vento also go 6'2". But you can't defend 6'5" passing the 6'6" like that. Yeah, when it's done like that, it's indefensible. Now, that said, it's not always worked that well.
So the three-point play unsuccessful, that off the mark. Earlier on, we had credited Justin Subsura with a three-pointer. They went and changed that to a 2. He now has 4 points in the ball game. Bobby and I were both off on our scoring at half. We thought we had Subsura with 5. He has 4, though. So they did change it to a 2 on the field goal he made in the second quarter. Here's a three-pointer put up by Vento. That's no good. Yarbo with the rebound again. Again, Fox Chapel playing without Ben Kelly, who is sick.
This is 6'5", running the point. Devon Stevens.
Kicks it right side to Fulton.
That's a pretty good luxury at this level. Inside
to Stevens, little right hand gets it to go.
That's a pretty good move at any level on the right baseline.
How do you stop that? He's so athletic.
Did I mention indefensible?
Yeah.
You can't.
He's not just 6'5", though, Bobby. He has size, too.
I agree. And he's versatile.
Three-pointer.
Not just a post player.
And a three-pointer again off the mark, and coming down with it is Wiley.
That's 3 misses from beyond the arc to start this set.
Left side, Stevens, front iron, no good. Rebound, the Fulton scoop move, got it blocked. Stevens, the putback, that won't go. Now a scramble for the basketball, goes out of bounds, last off Fox Chapel.
Now the length that we talked about on defense translates into length and size and wingspan offensively. And that was a good possession, crashing the boards for the Indians offensively.
Fulton triggers it, gets it back up top to Wiley. 25-12 now the score, 6 minutes to go in the third. Adams with it to the foul line. Stevens right side, Fulton. No real urgency here by Penn Hills either, particularly with a 13-point lead.
Nor should there be.
No. You can control it, control it. Fulton trying to go on the dribble. Little stutter step move and kicks it right side to Wiley, open for three. Back rim, no good. Long rebound comes down to Subsura.
It's a reach on Wiley trying to sneak in and grab that rebound after missed the three. You got a good look after being patient. Just couldn't get it to flush for Cam Wiley, his first personal, by the way.
Team fouls 1 apiece. Each team 4 timeouts remaining. 25-12 the score. Little spin move by Subsura to get it to Cohen. Cohen then kicks it right side. Vento spot up three. Yes.
Needed that.
And a timeout taken right away by Zach Scringer. As this team's deficit now cut back down to 10. The open shots have been there at times. Fox Chapel just hasn't made them.
Especially in this third quarter. That's why I said you needed that three. Great dribble drive on the Euro step by Cohen. Then he dishes near corner for the three ball for Vento, who has 6. But if that didn't go, that's a case of you miss that wide open three from the near side, Fox Chapel is going to be thinking, maybe this is not going to be our night.
Right.
That's why I think Zach Scringer took that time out, because now he said, look, we can get the shots to go. We need to pick up a little bit of our defensive intensity. We can claw our way back into this contest.
This Penn Hills team, really tough to defend because of that height and athleticism we talked about. Again, last year these two teams split their head-to-heads, both teams going 19-4, both losing in the quarterfinal round.
Both tri-section champions with Latrobe, too. Mm-hmm. Similar resumes, and 16 and 17 for these schools.
There's a lob pass that was tipped off the mark, and it'll go out of bounds. Stays with the Indians. Fox Chapel losing to Woodland Hills by 5 in the quarterfinals. Penn Hills lost to North Hills by a point in the quarterfinals. Oh, what a block by McGriff. Went up and got the block on Stevens, but Wiley tracks it down in the backcourt, then brings it into the paint, left side. Stevens now baseline, and a blocking foul will be called on Morris. And that is going to be foul number 4, I believe, on Micah Morris.
I've got 4 as well, and they kept him in there specifically because he's got 6'2", and the bulk and the size to counteract that defense. And now he's going to come out, and Noah Marks is going to have to check back in. Marks comes in at 6'1", so he's just an inch smaller than Morris, but he's definitely not the wide body that Micah Morris is.
Sends Davon Stevens to the line. He has 8 points.
How about the second block of the game prior to that by McGriff? And he let the Indians know that he made that block.
First free throw in and out. The second for Davon Stevens connects. Taking a breather here will be Keyshawn Adams. In comes Tyree Spencer.
Two-2-1, almost a 2-3. It's full court man-to-man for Penn Hills. They're just chasing.
Ball inbounded to Noah Marks, far side. Good behind the move by Vento. Behind the back he goes. Now here is Marks, kicked it right side, now back in the corner to Vento. Good little pump fake that had it blocked. Fulton comes away with it, maybe a bit too much passing there by Fox Chapel. Right side, Davon Stevens, spot up, no good.
It was Stevens who had that block defensively, and that's a good offensive rebound or defensive rebound for Cohen.
Nearly a carry by Cohen, then gets it off to Subsura, who cannot make the basket.
Got underneath, but just got a little out of control. And again, that storyline continues for Fox Chapel. Just can't get field goals. They only had 3 field goals in the first half. They only have 4 in this game.
Stevens backing down McGriff, wants to get a little payback for that block, but the shot's no good. 26-15, 4 minutes to play in the third, and a foul out on the perimeter. That's going to be the third on Stevens.
That's one I'm sure he would like to have back, as would Dan DeRose.
And that far from the hoop, not a good foul. And in steps Susnak.
Now, Stevens will know. They take out, actually, Yarbrough.
Yarbrough, yeah.
With Adams coming back in. But you never want to tame anyone's aggressiveness. But sometimes you just want to reel it in a little bit.
With the ball is Susnak, back over to Cohen.
Like 30 feet away from the hoop, right?
Right. And the ball stolen. Too much thinking there by Susnak. It's a turnover.
Too much thinking. Good reaction by Wiley to get that steal.
26-15. Left side getting open is Wiley. Cannot make the shot, though. 3-pointer no good. There's just been a lot of missed shots, too. It's, the defense has been there, delayed offense at times, but just too many missed open shots for good players.
Yeah, for both teams as well. And Penn Hills has not exactly been tearing it up as far as the field goal percentage.
They have 26 points. There's 3 minutes left in the third. That's not good. Here's a little reverse layup. Oh, what a take. Cohen, how about his first points coming in pretty fashion?
Could you hear that? That was his sigh of relief.
Now back the other way and trying to squelch that sigh of relief is Fulton with a layup of his own.
Squelch it he did with the answer at the other end. Point guard versus point guard.
Picking up the ball here is Susnak. He's trapped, and a 10-second call. The second time we've seen a 10-second call on Fox Chapel.
That was close. I'm not sure. I didn't see the time on the inbound. He knew he needed help, and he just got the pass off before it got out of the backcourt. Credit the defense again for Penn Hills to create another turnover.
28-17. Penn Hills on top. Feed inside to Stevens. Good little dish across, but off the hands of Spencer and out of bounds.
Yeah, Spencer, I'm not sure if he expected that to come. I think he was headed, Josh, from the right side to just go crash for an offensive rebound in case Stevens missed, but Stevens is unselfish.
Here's McGriff with it on the press break, and it's intercepted. And not able to track it down, though, is Darrell Mason. You make a great point, Bobby, about Stevens. It seems like he could probably dominate as far as scoring more, but he's really good at getting his teammates involved, and I think that's part of his game, where you see this big guy, 6'5", he's putting the ball in the net a little bit, but really it's an all-around game with him.
It's leadership, too.
Yeah.
To get your teammates involved. There's fiery leaders. There's leaders who just do it on the court, rebounding or playing defense. Stevens is kind of the total package. No doubt he can score. He's their leading scorer at 17.1. There's a steal.
Ball turned over up ahead. Wiley walks it in. He'll lay it in. 7 points for Cam Wiley. It's 30-17. 2 minutes to play in the third.
And the defense, that's been the most consistent thing in this game for either team, Penn Hills defense.
McGriff down the lane. Oh, he gets hit as he was going up for the shot.
A good catch by McGriff at that left elbow, because there was no doubt in his mind that he was getting that and going to the hoop. He got fouled by Keyshawn Adams, number 2 against Adams.
3 fouls on Penn Hills in the quarter, 2 on Fox Chapel. It'll be Cohen to inbound, floats one outside. Gets it right back, spot up 3, a hand in his face, and Carson Cohen knocks it down.
Just needed to break the seal. Got the 2-point layup to go, now a 3-pointer. brings Fox Chapel back within 10 at 30-20.
Not a high percentage shot, but Fox Chapel's best player with a big one. And a check foul on Cohen on the outside. Cohen's first. 30-20 the score. $1:24 left in the third quarter.
Zach Scringer having a sort of an animated conversation with Paul Hensler, who walks away. That didn't stop Coach Scringer from continuing to drive home his point.
Right side, Spencer with it. Feeds inside to Adams. A spin move back out to Spencer. Little floater through the lane. That's no good. Fox Chapel the rebound.
This kind of becomes a big possession. You get it to within single digits as your Fox Chapel.
McGriff off to Susnek.
It's always a mental thing, that double digit to single digit.
And he turns it over to Susnek. Up ahead to Fulton. Fulton traveled. Yeah, spin move, and he lost control of the basketball and turned it over.
Good defense by Yarbrough to create that opportunity, but then Fulton on the left wing, just a little too fancy, and they did either pull up with a jumper. Had a good idea, but just got a little out of control with the spinning.
I think one of the issues right now for Fox Chapel is that guys like Marks, Susnek, and Subsura, there's two guards. They don't look comfortable handling the basketball, and that's been a problem, and that's where the absence of Kelly comes through.
Yeah, you're reading my mind.
Great dish inside. Cohen finds Morris his first points.
Good way to break the pressure, considering that Ryan Kerr, who injured his ankle against Gateway, is 6'3", but listed as a guard, so those two could maybe take some of that pressure off.
This ball tipped and didn't need to save it. That ball was deflected, and Wiley throws it out of bounds trying to save a basketball he did not need
That's where you needed communication. Either
right.
The bench or his teammates saying, tip, leave it be. And that creates another opportunity for Fox Chapel, who's cut it to 8.
30-22, 21 seconds to go on the inbound pass to Cohen. Looks like Fox Chapel will wait for the last shot.
I'm screening Cohen and then looking for a screen and roll. Oh, McGriff's not in there. Maybe with Morris.
Susnek with it. Gets it left side. Now Cohen spot up three. Off the side of the rim, no good. Battle for it. Ball squirts free. Yarbrough jumps on it out of bounds with .6 to go. Maybe it would have been better off having that one go out of bounds instead of trying to save it. Would have just had time run out.
Now they're going to bring the length of Stevens in defensively.
Guard the rim.
But if you're Fox Chapel with .6, you got a chance to catch and
right.
shoot instead of just batting it up there. And they bring in McGriff to get inside. And even though then he backs out between the rings, so much for that theory.
Let's see if he crashes down on the rim. No, he hangs outside.
He can hit that three.
Inbound to Morris, and he's tied up at the buzzer by Wiley. Morris, one of the fouls. Zach Scringer out on the court, adamant that there should have been a foul, but none is called. And we're through three quarters. Penn Hills 30, Fox Chapel 22. Here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Recor-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
8 minutes left. It's an 8-point game as Penn Hills leads Fox Chapel here in the Trib Live High School Sports Network. 30-22. It's been a low-scoring, what was the term you used? Offensively limited game?
Offensively limited.
Yes.
It's been an offensively limited night with the girls' game thrown into that mix.
The girls' games were well on pace for that to outscore this one. There's a good play inside by Cohen to deflect the ball. That's Bob Orkwis. I'm Josh Rowntree. Here for the Triblive High School Sports Network.
Yeah, good backside help defense behind Adams by Carson Cohen to come in and knock that away.
Nobody has hit double figures yet. The closest is Davon Stevens with 9. Fulton on the curl, then but nearly had it blocked into the net by McGriff. Leads to a run out up ahead. Cohen all the way will score it. Carson Cohen had no points in the first half, but he has 7 here after halftime. Then the block inside by Vento.
Don't look now. It's a 6-point. Well, you have to look because you're the play-by-play guy, but it's a 6-point game.
Mark's baseline had it blocked, and it's taken away by Penn Hills. Here's Stevens with it, trying to fend off Cohen. These two battling.
That's a case where Marks maybe would have been better off to just turn around and go back out. Easily blocked by Adams and an offensive foul. That's 4 on Stevens?
That's the 4th on Stevens, the push-off. The ref gave the little chicken wing signal on the push-off. The Penn Hills faithful not happy with it, but for number 1 of Penn Hills, that's 4.
You know, you get away with that maybe if you're in traffic, but when you're out on the wing, kind of open like that, it's harder to disguise.
I thought he pushed off more in the backcourt than he did when it was actually called, but nevertheless.
Maybe that's a case where they let him get away with it, but he continued to do it.
With the ball is Susnak. Gets it to McGriff, then over to Cohen. Cohen had an open Vento, but took a highly contested 3. It's no good. Rebound comes out near half court. A tie-up for it, but coming free with it is Penn Hills. Fulton dishes, right side. Adams has the bucket.
Well done to reset that break by Fulton, and then Fulton got it back, and a good find to find the 6'6" trailer in Adams.
And that all started with the bad shot on Fox Chapel's side by Cohen. Now here's a steal back the other way. Spencer in the air has the bucket and the foul.
Should have passed the Vento is what you're saying, because all of a sudden it's a 10-point game, a chance to make it 11 at the free throw line for Tyree Spencer.
That foul, the first on Shane Susnak.
That's a big swing. You're looking at a 3-point game, and he misses the 3, and Vento, no chance. There's no guarantee he makes it, but that's a 6-point swing because it's a 10-point game as Spencer missed the and 1.
Vento was clearly frustrated, too, when he did not get the ball.
Yeah, you could see that. Yeah.
Just kind of hung his head in the air. This ball picked by Fulton of McGriff. Another turnover. And now Fulton with it. Left side. Spencer passed up a shot, got it to Fulton. Little jab step, but jab steps, I should say. It's a travel. 5:59 to go. 10-point lead for Penn Hills. Fox Chapel was able to cut it to 6, but struggled offensively. Nearly a travel on Vento. Gets it to McGriff. Kicks it left side to Cohen. Spencer going to come out and D him up. Cohen to the left elbow, right side. Vento, three-pointer, front rim. Vento, though, tracks down the offensive rebound. Goes back up with the left hand tough for Vento.
Well done by the 6'2 sophomore. Great follow, great presence of mind to know that he needed to switch hands to get between the two defenders and lay it up and in. He's got 8.
That's just good hustle right there. And a timeout taken by Dan DeRose. He's not happy with his team. It's a full timeout. Step aside as well. 5:20 left. 34-26. Penn Hills on top here on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Triblive High School Sports Network.
Eight-point game. 5:20 left here between Penn Hills and the homestanding Fox Chapel Foxes. Fox Chapel 4-1 on the year, 1-1 in section play. Penn Hills 7-0, 2-0 in the section. This a meaningful early season still game, but Bobby, we've talked about it a couple of times. These ones count, and obviously I think this is going to be a pretty contentious race when you talk about the likes of Woodland Hills, Latrobe, Hempfield thrown in there. There's some really good teams in this section.
Yeah, especially if you're Fox Chapel coming off your first section loss against Woodland Hills at home. You'd love to put that first L in either column for Penn Hills. And for the Indians, they're doing a good job. They've done a good job to play this type of game. I know it's got to be frustrating. You've only got 34 points, and we're almost 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, but you're up by 8. That's the key number.
Cohen guarding Stevens, and he's going to pick up a foul. Cohen, his second. Now they take Cohen off of Stevens, put McGriff on him. Foul called away from the ball.
It's a Vento. There's a man who fell down. It was Tyree Spencer, and I thought he just lost his footing.
I thought so too. And the whistle was well after he fell down too.
Well, after he fell down, and it was about 15 or 20 feet away on the opposite side of the blocks on the baseline.
That foul on McGriff.
I'm not saying there wasn't contact. Well, maybe that's a different foul than we thought. I thought it was Vento who was tied up with Spencer, so I retract my defense, Your Honor.
Left side, Fulton passes up a shot inside to Adams, the foul, and the basket.
We talked about Fulton returning as a pure point guard. That's a point guard mentality there because he had a good look from 8 to 10, Josh. Made a better pass to the 6'6" Adams, who now has 12, working on 13 with the and 1.
Arnold Vento picks up his first personal, but it's back to a 10-point game, 36-26, 4:33 left.
Should have just left that notch in the PF column for Vento.
Yeah.
20 seconds or so later, it's back in there, and here's a chance for Adams to make his first foul shot, his first attempt on the night.
He does.
13 points.
The 6'6" senior, Keyshawn Adams. Long pass ahead to Susnack, then off to Cohen. Gets a screen, goes by it, and then drives in, gets the foul.
Good decision by Cohen. Earlier in the game, he had some screens where he either dribbled around the screen, much like this one, though. The screen was set to his right. Earlier in the game, he stayed left. This time he stayed left. This time he drove to the hoop and drew that foul on Spencer. Now a chance to score points with time stuck at 4:21. Cohen makes the first.
8 points for Carson Cohen. Takes it to a 10-point game yet again. Out steps Micah Morris. Second for Cohen, good. Cohen coming off a 26-point performance against Woodland Hills. They need some other guys to step up, though. Wiley to the free throw line. Stevens, man fell down inside for Fox Chapel. It was Marks, and that's because of a foul.
That's Adams' call for the personal. So the key is don't fall. We've seen 2 foul calls within a minute or so like that. I didn't see the contact with Adams, but that was closer underneath the hoop and more in line with those kind of fouls that are called. There's a chance for the Foxes to cut further into the deficit.
Third foul on Adams. Walking right into the double team is Susnack. Then Vento comes free and goes right around everybody and scores it.
You never want to walk into a double team, but you certainly, if you're Shane Susnack, want to pass out of it, especially to a streaking Arnold Vento.
There's Fulton with it, back to a 7-point game. Yarbo, right side. Spencer passed up the 3, tried to get it inside, tipped out of there by Micah Morris. Yarbo on the drive, left side, Wiley, spot up, Jay, got it. A 3-pointer down for Wiley, he has 10.
Good drop step by Yarborough, Better find on the dribble drive and pass out, and the drained tray for Cam Wiley.
Vento nearly had it stolen. McGriff able to handle it. Cohen left wing, 10-point game yet again. Cohen tried to scoop, feed it inside. It eventually comes to Michael Morris, and he's fouled on the interior.
That's going to be 4 on Adams. I think Cohen, about 5 seconds prior to that, had a chance to get it to Morris and didn't. They kind of wanted to make up for it, which wasn't the greatest idea, but it works out for Fox Chapel as the foul on Adams is indeed his 4th, and it puts Morris at the line with a 1-and-1. Both teams now with 7 team fouls apiece in the second half.
10-point game. Michael Morris to the line, 1-and-1, cannot make the front end. Those are big misses. Here is Davon Stevens with the basketball. Hands it off, though, to Wiley. Stevens, right side. Kicks it over to Wiley. Had the big 3 moments ago. Fulton delayed. Still Penn Hills, I think they're content. Running clock. We're down to 2.5 minutes to play.
They've taken about 30 seconds off the clock after the Morris miss on the front end.
You got to come out here if you're Fox Chapel. That's what Zach Scringer is telling them.
Would you do it, or would you wait till about 2 minutes before you maybe foul? No, McGriff, there was a foul. Took about 3 seconds for that to be called. So that was my answer to my question, provided by Zach Scringer and the Foxes. You're off the hook, buddy.
There it is. So that foul is the second on McGriff. But to me, that is a mistake by players and coach to allow that much time.
You're not saying foul. You're saying just be more aggressive, try to create a steal.
Be more aggressive, try to create a steal. But you let so much time go, and what happens at the end of it? You end up fouling anyways.
Yeah, 42 seconds went off the clock.
And all you've done is burn clock on yourself. I mean, 5 seconds into that, when you see them standing out there, you should be saying, go get the basketball. Yeah. As a collective unit, it's not totally on Coach Scringer because he was screaming it, but everybody has to know in that situation to go get the basketball. Wiley makes both. He has 12. Cohen bounce pass to Morris, now to McGriff. Spot up 3 for Cohen. They need it. And it rolls around, doesn't go. Tip back attempt by McGriff. That's no good. Adams nearly threw it away, but then he gets it right back and gets it ahead to Fulton as the clock ticks to 2 minutes. Penn Hill's looking like they're going to come away with a victory. They're going to try to dribble this one out. There's a foul on Cohen. That's going to be his 4th. No, excuse me, that's his 3rd.
Yeah, they took that one. They fixed that one earlier. There was a much case of urgency, much more case of urgency on that defensive possession for the Foxes. Well, the Foxes fans, they're thinking in line with you as they start heading to the exits.
Corey Fulton, 5 points. I'll tell you what, though, his night better than just that 5-point line.
Well, he's got 3 assists and 2 steals to go with a pair of rebounds. So he's handled the ball. He's distributed well. He's one of the leaders on this team, the senior.
14-point game, 6 for Fulton as he goes 2 for 2. That likely will wrap it up. McGriff nearly traveled, then Morris with it into the corner to Susnack. Too much time again being taken off the clock here. Cohen going to finally drive. Scoop layup off the window. He gets it.
Sweet dribble drive by Cohen, protecting the basketball, swooping in from the left wing, and now he picks up his 4th foul. He's got 11 points to go with those 4 fouls. Or 4 fouls to go with those 11 points, depending on how you want to paint that.
And that will put...
It's not even him. It's Vento with the personal, by the way.
So they get Vento with it. That'll send the Indians into the double bonus. So 2 shots upcoming here for Fulton. Cannot make the first. Davon Stevens back in. Penn Hills a mere 94 seconds away from 8-0. Does make the second, does Fulton. Cohen on the drive. It's out of bounds.
That's either Fulton or Adams who got a piece of that ball. I think it might have been Fulton to get a little piece of it, and then it got stuck on the right arm and the right hand of Carson Cohen.
Minute 25 to go, 13-point game.
Awkward.
It was. And a foul by McGriff. Fox Chapel is extending this game, but I think it's going to all be for naught with a minute 19 to go.
It's especially the way that they've been shooting. If they were tearing it up, maybe they get a chance to come back, but they haven't. Is that good for Fulton on first?
It was a miss.
Oh, thanks.
13-point game it remains. Second one is good, so again he splits them. 8 points now for Corey Fulton. Not coming at the line here in the quarter, 4 of them to be exact. Now driving baseline is Vento, cannot make it.
McGriff now with 10 rebounds to go 7 points.
Back up and in for McGriff. Minute left. Well, minute 1 left as the clock will stop on a wrap-up foul here.
That's a foul on Cohen. Initially thought, well, the Fox Chapel faithful were thinking that Susnak was fouled. Would have been an offensive foul. It's going to put Wiley at the foul line for 2. He's got 12 on the game for the Indians.
Not a lot of scoring for Penn Hills, but a balanced night it has been. 8 for Fulton, 12 for Wiley, who misses the first, 13 for Adams, 9 for Stevens. Those 4 doing the bulk of the scoring, but it's been spread out. Missing both is Cam Wiley. Micah Morris will track it down in the corner. Under a minute. Here's Cohen, nearly lost it. And then he's going to get fouled. Got a hand in there from Wiley, I believe.
It's either 4 or 11. In the goal, it's 4. So that's 2 on Wiley. Probably a foul that, even though it's a 12-point game, you'd like to have back. But to Wiley's defense, the ball was kind of loose.
Right.
And he's got to kind of reach for it.
Cohen,
the personal.
Cohen with 11. This is the front end of the 1-and-1. Cohen with 11, Vento with 10, McGriff with 7. That's been the majority of their scoring. That's 28 of their 34 points. 2 for Morris, 4 for Sapsura.
You want to couple that with the fact that Fox Chapel had scored 60 points against Woodland Hills, and 50 of those were McGriff and Cohen. So the fact that you've got Kelly being out with an illness and Kerr out with an ankle, that's kind of limited the Fox Chapel offense.
First free throw good for Stevens. Second one off the mark, but he has double figures now, 10 points. 40 seconds to go.
That's a go to the
Drive
hole,
in,
yeah.
Untouched is Susnek, and he gets his first point.
He hesitated. I'm like, there's the lane. Take it.
Back to an 11-point game. Zach Scringer still coaching tough, and they get a turnover out of it. Long play ahead to McGriff, who walks in, cannot get it to roll. Oh, halfway around the rim and fell off. Fulton now with the ball. 10 to go. Penn Hills will be able to dribble this one out, maybe. Over to Adams. Still tight defense by the Foxes, but that'll do it. Final score, Penn Hills 47, Fox Chapel 36. As it's a big win to go to 8-0 and 3-0 in the section for the Indians of Penn Hills. As they come away with the road victory here tonight in Fox Chapel. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the post-game show, get you the scoring summary, maybe a word in with Coach DeRose as well. That'll be after the break here on the Triblive High School Sports Network. Final score, Penn Hills 47, Fox Chapel 36.
Check out the new Triblive High School Sports Network on social media this season. For breaking news, scores, pictures, videos, links to our articles, and more, follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Triblive HSSN. Get in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/Triblive HSSN. And on our YouTube channel, you can find thousands of interviews with local student athletes and coaches, plus highlights and full games. The spot for Western Pennsylvania high school sports on social media this season is the new Triblive High School Sports Network.
Triblive has a little something for everyone. Sports from high school to the pros. News from across the street and around the world. Arts and entertainment, lifestyles, opinion, weather, photo galleries, video. You can even find your next job, house, and car. So look alive, Pittsburgh, and get the news you want and information you need all in one place. Triblive.com. Triblive.com. News and more 24/7.
For a weekly in-depth look at boys and girls high school basketball in the district, log on to the WPIAL Roundball Report every Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Triblive High School Sports Network. Join experts Chris Harlan, Sean Myers, and James Dotson for coaches' interviews and the latest hoops news around the WPIAL. Oh, and Don Rebel is back on the show as well. That's the WPIAL Roundball Report, Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
Back here at Fox Chapel, where the final score is 47-36. Penn Hills taking down Fox Chapel here on the road to improve to 8-0 on the year. Now 3-0 in section play are the Indians. Fox Chapel are now 4-2. Their second straight loss overall and in section play, as they are now 1-2 in the section. A win over Hempfield, but a loss to Woodland Hills, and now a loss to Penn Hills tonight as well. Taking a look ahead for these two teams before Bobby will bring you the scoring summary, which will be brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine. We'll take a look at the road ahead for these two teams. Penn Hills back in action. Quick turnaround tomorrow night. A 6:30 start at Jam Fest at Penn Hills High School. They'll take on nearby McKeesport. Again, a 6:30 start. They'll be, after that, taking a bit of a break. Then back January 5th against Penn Trafford in section play. On the other side, Fox Chapel, they will have a bit of a break. Their next opponent as well is McKeesport. That'll be on January 3rd, though. That'll be a 7:30 start at McKeesport High School. That should be a pretty big game. Penn Hills now 3-0 in the section. Woodland Hills tonight, they were in action at Hempfield, and Latrobe in action at Norwin. Those teams 1-1 and 0-1 respectively in section play. As Bobby, you ready?
I am.
All right, let's turn it over to Bobby for the scoring recap, sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, powering the Stay Strong and Play On program with the Triblive High School Sports Network.
47-36 win on the road for Penn Hills. They were led in scoring 3 players in double figures. Keyshawn Adams, the 6'6 senior, with 13 points. He also had 3 rebounds and 2 blocks. 12 points for Cam Wiley, who also chipped in with 3 rebounds and a steal. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block for Davon Stevens for Penn Hills. 8 points for Corey Fulton. Did his job as a point guard. Also had 3 assists, a couple of steals, 3 rebounds. 4 points, 4 rebounds, and assist and a steal off the bench for Tyree Spencer. Those numbers don't look that great, but considering he came in early when the game maybe was in the balance when Stevens with those 2 early fouls, good production off the bench for Spencer. He finishes with 4. Those are the 5 Indians who scored tonight by quarters for Penn Hills: 7, 14, 9, and 17. For Fox Chapel, 2 players in double figures. Carson Cohen, all 11 of his points coming in the second half, including a 3 ball and a pair of free throws. He had 3 rebounds and an assist. 10 points for Arnold Vento, who had 4 rebounds and a block. Vento hit 2 3-pointers in the game for Fox Chapel. 7 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks for Dom McGriff. He was the most noticeable and probably the best player all night, considering that Cohen did not shoot the ball very well for the Foxes. McGriff, the 6'3 senior, finishes with 7. 4 points for Justin Supsura. He also had 4 rebounds and a block for the Foxes. And 2 points apiece, Micah Morris. Morris also pulled down 6 rebounds. And Shane Susnack with the late layup had 2 points for Fox Chapel for their total of 36 by quarters, 7, 5, 10, and 14. You add it all up, 47-36 win. You add that out, 8-0. Perfect start so far, perfect year for Penn Hills.
You know, you made a great point. You see a guy come in like Tyree Spencer off the bench early. Wasn't a huge drop-off. And I think you look at – and I don't want to cast anybody in a bad light, but without Kelly, without Ben Kelly, or Brendan Kelly – or I'm sorry, Ben Kelly. Without Ben Kelly, it seemed like there was a drop-off with Fox Chapel. From their starter to the next guy, it seemed like there was too significant of a gap there, and they just couldn't really overcome that. They never looked comfortable, with the exception of Cohen. Nobody looked comfortable controlling the basketball at any point in this game, and I thought that was kind of the big difference, was that, you know, Penn Hills had 5 guys on the court that were comfortable with the ball in their hand. Fox Chapel, they had maybe 3 guys at a time that were okay with the ball.
With Kerr being out of the lineup, too. That's
Kerr out, yeah.
I'm not sure that even if Kelly and Kerr in the lineup, that they can handle that length, but you think they would do a better job of it. At times they did. They just couldn't get the shooting to go down. But I think you're right as far as not maybe scoring, because, well, Kelly's counted on to score a little bit, but Kerr is too. But I think that's the key.
Right.
Took them out of that rotation, and that Penn Hills was able to take advantage of that. Fox Chapel couldn't shoot it. Penn Hills heated up when they need to. They took a lead, and they never relinquished it after leading by 9 at the half.
I think if Fox Chapel gets healthy, you know, if Kelly can get over whatever ailment he has going on right now, I think there's a chance that, you know, they could have a pretty competitive team. Cohen's a good player.
He's not, and Cohen's not going to be cold like this every night.
You know, Vento's a decent shooter out there as well. I think they need a little bit more shooting. If that's the game that they're going to play, that perimeter, shoot the ball. You know, they didn't get to the rim a whole lot tonight. And really, with the exception of McGriff, they don't have a ton inside. I mean, they're not a big team. But if they're going to play a smaller brand, I think they need to get up and down the court a little bit more than they did tonight. I don't think when you're playing a team like Penn Hills, I know you don't want to get into a track meet up and down the court, but I didn't think that this method was going to work for them either, of playing in the half court and running delayed offense, because they just weren't making enough shots. I mean, if you're making 60% of your shots, including from beyond the arc, then maybe that works. But they weren't shooting that way tonight. And if you're not shooting that way, you can't play that offense.
They were up 4-0.
They were.
If that's the highlight of your night, that tells you how it went for Fox Chapel.
Right.
When, you know, I guess the coaching decision is then when do you pull the trigger and change it up from that? Do you realize, hey, we're not shooting good to start here. Maybe we better try something different, which was the case here tonight?
Well, and you know, you look at it after, you know, really that second quarter was the difference. The first quarter, we were tied at 7. Second quarter was a 9-point difference. Fox Chapel won the third by a point, and then the fourth quarter was 3 in favor of Penn Hills. So really everything kind of tight along the way, but that second quarter is where things kind of got out of control a little bit. So I think we're going to be joined by Coach DeRose. Making his way up. We're high above, by the way, high above the box in Fox Chapel here. Hey, Coach, how's it going? Good to see you. You want to throw that on?
Thanks for coming out.
There you go. All right, we're joined by Dan DeRose, the head coach of this Penn Hills team, victorious tonight, now 8-0 on the year. I think the thing that kind of stood out to us was your length on the defensive side of the floor. It's a problem for teams, and as good as you guys are offensively, your defense is, I think, far superior than the offense is at this point. Would you agree?
Yeah, by far. This is probably the best defensive team I've had in the 3 years been here. You know, and the least offensive team. So we had more firepower the last couple of years. So we've done a pretty good job of controlling the boards and contesting shots with a lot of the teams that shoot the ball very well. So, you know, if we're going to do anything this year, it's going to have to be on that defensive end.
You know, Davon Stevens, we were talking about it during the game. 6'5", big kid, thick. He can get to the rim. But his game tonight was all around. It was defensive side of the floor. It was passing the ball. It was block shots. He does a little bit of everything for you.
Hey, he's an all-around player. You know, he can score inside, score outside, and if we need him to handle the ball, he can do that. He passes the ball very well. You know, there was a game earlier this year, a couple games ago, in Norman, he had 13 assists. So he's not afraid to give up the ball, you know, and get his own. So it really makes things a lot easier on me that I could use his versatility of if I need to pull him out away from the basket or need to go inside with him, or he can get the ball to somebody else. So, kids like that are special.
This program in the 4 years before you got here had 22 wins over those 4 years, back-to-back 19-win years. And I remember you telling me 2 years ago, I think we talked, and you said that, the athletes and the basketball players were there. They just needed guidance. They just needed coaching. And do you feel like that has now fully taken over these last couple of years where you've been able to implement your style and your control of the team?
I think so. And if there's ever going to be 1 year that's going to prove it, it's this year. For the simple fact that this team is very inexperienced.
Yeah.
Dave Vaughn's really the only player that has experience from last year. So, a lot of this is new to a lot of the guys. So that just to show that, hey, the next guys step up. They come in from a season ago and play in the system. And, they get it. They get it. So, that being said, I didn't know how much to expect this year just because of the lack of inexperience. I just, I want to trust the system and things I've done in the past and the hard work that the kids have put in.
Last Friday, I saw Woodland Hills and Latrobe play. I know what kind of teams those are now. I've seen two more teams in this section. What's the importance of 8-0 and particularly 3-0 in this section?
Well, it's good to get off to a fast start. I mean, you want to be a jump on everybody, have a little cushion and things like that. So, I see this section really playing out just kind of almost like it did last year. I mean, I think there's, 4 teams that can – the same 4 that can contend. But I would not sleep on Penn Trafford. I think all those teams have gotten better than what they were last year. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't sneak up and get one of us. So I think it's going to be a very interesting year down to the wire again.
I was reading about this program that you started, the coaching boys into men program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, basically it's a program that we're trying to teach the young men about respect, mainly towards women, and domestic violence and sexual assault and abuse is on the rise. I mean, we see it on the news every day, especially in the sports world. So, we're trying to educate our young men to try to understand, how to treat women, how to talk to them, how to use social media to make sure that you're not insulting them and, with whatever. And that if you see people doing it, don't be afraid to stand up and step up and tell people, hey, man, that's wrong. That's wrong. Don't treat, get in the idea that, that's somebody's sister or mother or whatever, that you would never want them to do that to them, to any of your family members. So let's start learning how to, treat women, better in society.
That's great. It's an admirable program that you've helped start, and it's great to have a team involved in that. That's an awesome thing. Dan, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the win, and I'm sure we'll see you again here as you guys progress into the new year.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Congratulations. That is Dan DeRose, the head coach of the Penn Hills Indians, victorious tonight, 47-36, the final score. Bobby, final thoughts as we put a lid on this one here from Fox Chapel?
I think the boys to men program, for first, I thought it was how to teach them to be R&B stars from the other side of the
Philly,
state.
Yeah. On bended knee, maybe.
They could be 0-8 and lost every game by 50 points, and that would be the win of the season. That's a great program. Great question that you asked, Coach.
Yeah, I read about it, and we didn't really get a chance to talk about it, and I wanted to bring that up with Coach DeRose, because in this climate, what we have seen in the last couple of months, more than ever, we need that kind of guidance for
that is the message.
That
should be
boys.
Should be a prevailing message, absolutely. And Coach said it great on that interview. I think basketball-wise, they can give teams trouble because I think Stevens is capable of scoring 20 a night.
Yeah.
Fulton can score more. Wiley, if Wiley hits his threes, maybe he has 20 points tonight. So he did hit a couple of those. You saw Woodland Hills. I would be. I think it's January that those two teams go at it. I'd like to be in attendance for that one because That to be, a really, really good game the way Woodland Hills has started this year.
Those two have been known to not like each other as well.
In the past, asked Don about it in the past. They used to play in the afternoon.
Right.
Because of things getting out of control. And there was one time we got there and there was this huge fracas, for lack of a better word, going on in the parking lot. So those are rivals. The other thing I think, if Kelly and Kerr come back, it changes the dynamic for Fox Chapel, and I think they need to keep that in mind in this 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, I think you can't hang your heads too much because, with the exception of that second quarter, they played tight with I think, the best team in the section, as we've seen right now, an 8-0 start. Woodland Hills will have something to say about that, but certainly I think they hung around well enough in this basketball game. They competed hard from start to finish. Again, Penn Hills up next. Jam Fest tomorrow at Penn Hills against McKeesport. Fox Chapel next playing McKeesport as well. That'll be January 3rd, the time of that game. Fox Chapel now 4-2 overall, 1-2 out of Section 3. Penn Hills goes to 8-0, 3-0 in section play as they come away with the victory tonight. That'll do it for Chelsea Rowntree working the video. Bob Orkwis, I'm Josh Rowntree saying good night from Fox Chapel High School. The final score, Penn Hills 47, Fox Chapel 36. You heard it right here, as always, on the Triblive High School Sports Network.
You have been listening to WPIAL Basketball 2017-2018 here on the Triblive High School Sports Network and sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by AstroTurf, by Carlow University, proud sponsor of the 2018 WPIAL Girls Basketball Playoffs, and by Trib Total Media. You can follow the 2017-2018 WPIAL Boys and Girls Basketball season every day by logging on to tribhssn.triblive.com. The preceding has been a special presentation of the Triblive High School Sports Network.